Right now, there's a server farm in a heavily air-conditioned basement somewhere mathematically calculating exactly how desperate you are. It knows the battery percentage on your phone, the local weather patterns, and it knows you just spent 45 minutes looking at flights to Denver. Yet, we're living through the golden age of dynamic AI-driven surge pricing. Algorithms are hyper-optimizing every transaction to extract the maximum amount of money you're willing to part with before you simply drop your phone in a storm drain and walk away. It's a world where Wendy's flirts with the idea of a surge-priced Baconator, treating a Tuesday lunch rush like a stock market rally. The computers are squeezing the global economy for every penny, turning basic commerce into a relentless, real-time auction. Then, there's the glitch in the hyper-capitalist matrix, a massive concrete warehouse where a multi-billion-dollar corporation violently refuses to let a computer update a single, specific line of code. I'm talking, of course, about the Costco hot dog combo. For $1.50, you get a tube of mystery meat and a fountain drink, like it's been locked in a financial stasis field since 1985. If you feed the economic data of the last 40 years into a modern pricing algorithm, its synthetic brain will melt. Adjusted for inflation, that combo should cost around $4.50 today. A machine learning model looking at supply chain costs, beef commodities, and consumer demand would instantly recommend hiking the price. It's the most obvious low-hanging fruit in the history of retail. Yet Costco executives look at that screaming red alert data model, unplug the monitor, and keep selling the lunch equivalent of a financial anomaly. To understand why this happens, we have to look at the inherent flaw in how algorithms view human behavior. An AI optimizes for the immediate transaction. It's designed to win the current interaction by finding the perfect intersection of supply and demand. If the demand for hot dogs goes up at noon, the algorithm dictates the price should rise. It's cold, flawless logic. But humans aren't cold, flawless data points. We're irrational meat sacks driven by vibes, perceived value, and a deep-seated hatred of feeling ripped off. Costco understands this better than any predictive model ever could. They know they're operating in the realm of the loss leader. A loss leader is a product priced so aggressively low that the company takes a deliberate financial beating on every single sale, just to get you through the front doors. The hot dog is bait, but it's not just regular bait. It's psychological warfare disguised as a quarter pound of processed beef. You walk into the warehouse, grab your oversized cart, and your brain is immediately bathed in the soothing dopamine of a historically incredible deal. You secure your lunch for literal pocket change. You feel like a financial genius. You have beaten the system. And because you've beaten the system at the food court, your guard drops completely. The cognitive dissonance of spending $400 on a kayak and a television the size of a garage door completely evaporates. The hot dog absorbs the financial guilt of your impending impulse buys. An algorithm can't measure that psychological transaction. It only sees that the food court is bleeding money. Back in the early 2000s, Costco's former CEO Craig Jelinek actually tried to bring this up. He approached founder Jim Sinegal and pointed out the undeniable mathematical reality. They're losing their shirts on the hot dog. Sinegal's response wasn't a pivot table or a revised quarterly projection. It was a direct threat. He allegedly told Jelinek, "If you raise the effing hot dog, I will kill you. Figure it out." That's not how they teach corporate finance at Wharton. Usually, the threat of physical violence in a boardroom is reserved for when someone steals a catered sandwich, not macro pricing strategy. But Sinegal recognized a metric that the algorithm was entirely blind to: institutional trust. Costco isn't actually a grocery store. It's a subscription service. They make the vast majority of their actual profit not from marking up bulk toilet paper, but from the annual membership fees. Everything inside that warehouse is just a perk designed to ensure you happily auto-renew your $60 or $120 fee next year. The hot dog is the physical manifestation of that membership contract. It's a beacon of stability in a chaotic economic universe. You know the stock market might crash, housing prices might explode, and the cost of eggs might require a small loan. But you will always have that $1.50 combo. If Costco allowed a dynamic pricing AI to optimize the food court based on the lunch rush, they might squeeze out an extra $10 or $20 million a year in revenue. A computer would log that as an absolute win and demand a processing upgrade as a reward. But doing so would instantly fracture the trust of millions of members who view that stable price as a blood oath of corporate goodwill. The algorithm can't quantify betrayal. It doesn't understand that extracting an extra 50 cents from a hungry customer today might cost you a lifetime of membership renewals tomorrow. The lengths to which Costco has gone to maintain this defiance of digital logic are genuinely staggering. To keep the price anchored at $1.50 without entirely bankrupting the company, they didn't just eat the infinite loss indefinitely, they completely restructured their reality. They vertically integrated. When their suppliers inevitably raised prices, Costco stopped buying from them. Instead, they built their own massive hot dog manufacturing plants in California and Chicago. They took absolute control of the entire supply chain just to spite inflation. Think about the sheer, magnificent absurdity of that. They literally industrialized sausage making, constructing massive factories, and reworking their entire logistical network, entirely to avoid proving a basic pricing algorithm right. That's a level of petty dedication to a bit that deserves its own chapter in economic history books. They engineered a physical world solution to bypass a mathematical inevitability. This entire saga is a massive warning sign for the future of tech and finance. We're rushing headlong into an economy where artificial intelligence dictates every facet of our financial lives, from our insurance premiums to the cost of our streaming services. The danger isn't that the AI's math is wrong. The danger is that it's entirely too correct. It lacks the human context of goodwill, friction, and irrational loyalty. Goodwill doesn't fit neatly into a neural network's weights and biases. When every single corporation is utilizing the exact same tools to aggressively squeeze consumers for maximum algorithmic profit, the experience of buying anything becomes exhausting. We're constantly on the defensive, waiting for the surge pricing to hit. In that kind of hostile environment, the companies that intentionally leave money on the table stand out like a neon sign in a dark alley. They become a refuge. The $1.50 hot dog is the ultimate hedge against the machine. It's a masterclass in behavioral economics, proving that not every business problem can be solved by throwing more compute power at a spreadsheet. Sometimes the most profitable, brilliant, and ruthlessly effective strategy a multi-billion-dollar company can deploy is to look at the hyper-optimized data model, reject it completely, and just hand a customer a ridiculous